Talking about our biggest fights and how we overcame them, because clearly we overcame them. We're still together, but we're going to be telling you guys that story.
We did get through them, and your boy is a professional fighter, so I'm an expert at fighting.
You're a professional fighter.
That's right. This is your Cup of Tea podcast. It's your boy Josh.
And this is episode number 15, right?
Oh, let's go. I forgot.
15?
15 episodes in. We're cranking them out.
How are we already at episode? We're gonna have so many episodes, but I love it because there's so much to talk about.
It's so fun, and we asked you guys on Instagram what you guys wanted to hear more about. Was it stories, like advice? And there was a good mix of all of it. But today we're gonna give you a story that you guys suggested.
Yes.
And it was our biggest fights.
We've only, to be honest with you guys, we don't fight on the regular.
But we've had some bangers though. You know, like
we've had some
heavyweight fights.
I mean, what couple hasn't had some big fights? And we actually had, I think, one of our biggest fights was within the first month of dating, which for me, when we had this big fight, I kind of was like, uh-oh, this is toxic. I was like, this relationship might be toxic.
And the other two were going straight into the wedding.
It was right before the wedding.
That? Like right before we're about to seal the deal, some big fights, some title fights, some heavyweight fights. It was those were intense. Fights. We're gonna get into them, all the details on this podcast, and I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie, the hands are already sweating. Too. I don't know if it's warm in here or.
I don't like talking about. I mean, I do because it's like it's in the past, and every relationship has fights, and I feel like a lot of times people don't even talk about them because they're like almost embarrassing that you fought. And that, like, I don't know, like sometimes it's not like something you want to like bring.
Oh, totally. I was going to throw the disclaimer out there. First off, I'm embarrassed. Second of all, like learn from our mistakes. And third of all, you guys are going to find out that all the reasons why we've had big fights is because of me.
No. I mean,
I'm just going to throw that out there
okay,
now.
I'll be honest. The big fights are your fault. The little fights are my fault. And that's not even like fights. Those are like me being moody to you. So I will give you the benefit of the doubt. Joshy B is normally in the right.
All those
about
little fights
99%.
though equal up to one big fight, so I would say we're like kind of even on the scoreboard. No,
yeah, we're because there is no scoreboard in
trying
marriage.
To fight about?
We just love each other so much that there's no scoreboard. Babe.
We don't even fight anymore now that we're married. I don't like that knee. If you guys are listening, she did a little knee tap. To me.
Wait. When's the last time we fought though?
It's been a while. I couldn't even tell you.
I feel like every time we say that, we fight that day.
Big raging fight after this.
No, not like a big fight, but like honestly, we've been pretty good.
I think fighting's healthy.
No, it is.
It happens.
Well, you got to learn to get over fighting because, like, if you've never fought with someone, that's weird. We honestly, other than our first month of dating that fight, we didn't fight for a long time. I was like, dang, we really don't fight. But then I realized that was like over time, like we've been together almost 5 years now, and we really don't fight because we resolve things pretty well, I feel like, and we're also like not trying to hurt the other person.
Totally.
But I'm definitely beating around the bush. Let's get into the bangers.
I was going to say, let's not get around the bush. Okay, fight number one. Let's cue it up a little bit. We just started dating. We're a month into it. Lovey-dovey stage, as we should be. They call it the honeymoon stage. We were vibing. Nothing could go wrong.
No, nothing.
I kept saying it was too good to be true. Lo and behold, I was about to find out that I was right.
You were not right.
I was going to find out I was
not right. Okay, so anyway, we made the biggest mistake any couple would ever do, and you go to a country music festival.
No, I was going to say, don't put that out there.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, but like kinda. It's with the alcohol.
There was a lot of emotions going around.
Emotions.
Okay,
so anyway, we went to this thing called Faster Horses. It's basically a country music festival.
Like the biggest country music festival in Michigan.
It was our first time. All we knew is that like you drink the whole time.
I had been there before without Katie. First time in a relationship going there.
Did you get in a fight basically with your ex-girlfriend or like with some random dude too? You're the problem.
I'm the problem. I literally started the episode off with I am the problem.
Okay. So anyway, we're at this country music festival. It's a 3-day thing. And you stay in a camper. It's like grimy. Like there's not really
any shower in a semi truck full of other showers where everybody's water runs down. Like the shower is actually kind of disgusting, and you only poop or pee in porta potties.
And you honestly only like shower. You only shower like once or twice in those 3 days because the line is like 2 hours long.
It's like 90 degrees outside. So like we're just setting the tone that like there's gonna be some like stuff we're dealing with already. It's hot. We're sticky.
We just set up a camp. We're camping.
It smells like
we're camping.
It smells like poop.
It literally smells so weird. Okay. But anyway.
Lots of alcohol.
So we're drinking. First day's good. We're just, doing our thing.
Okay. We bought a gallon of Fireball were the two of us.
Other people did drink it because obviously I don't think we could have put that down. But we did drink a lot of Fireball.
Somehow become empty by the end of the 3-day weekend. There's no way that was all of us.
I don't think I could take a shot of Fireball anymore.
That actually ended it for us with the Fireball.
Okay, so anyway, we are having a good day. The next day rolls around, and there's people from like my high school, because I don't know, there's just like a lot of people. There was people from your high school, people from my high school.
A ton of people from
But there was the people from my high school, and they all had like a campsite. So I was like saying hi to everyone because like I'm graduated. I don't really see these people anymore. I'm like, oh, like how's it going? Like blah, blah, blah.
And then I was stoked too. I was like, me and everybody, I was like, yeah, I'm her boyfriend. You know, I was hype. I was like, yeah, that's my girl over there.
And I was hype because I was like, this is like the ultimate flex. Like you go to all the people you went to high school with. You're like, and I was like, this is my boyfriend, professional fighter.
Sure
Look at him, he was shirtless,
100%
shredded,
shirtless. It was 90 degrees.
Like I wanted to take him over there so bad just to like flex that like Josh was mine because like I mean he's a flex.
Little did she know what was about to go down.
So anyway, we like say hi, whatever. So Joshy B sees my friend kiss someone. We gotta kind of give it a little bit of that story.
We'll give a little.
So he sees my friend kiss someone, and he's kind of like chirping him. He's like, oh, like
me and this friend razz each other all the time. Like it's very casual. Like I was just messing around with them. I was like, oh, like she said the kiss was bad. Like blah blah blah. I was just messing. No, not that.
We were joking at him because like they were like making out.
Yeah.
And so we didn't like say like you made a joke like it was like, ew, Shane's making out with it. I don't know. Like it wasn't anything mean, but it was like like you're making out with her face or something like that.
I don't know. They just went at it, and I just thought it was funny. So we were, chirping back and forth at each other, which was fine.
Josh is drunk. My friend was drunk.
Everyone was super drunk. Like you're gonna see the other disclaimer in here that like I'm pretty sure every one of these things, every one of these fights besides one, like alcohol was definitely involved.
I feel like that's how fights happen a lot of time, but not with. I mean, we've drank plenty of times and not been in fights. Like it's not like if we got in a fight every single time we drank, we wouldn't drink.
Oh, we would not drink.
But
I mean, we've been dating for 5 years. It's okay to have 3 fights. It happens.
And so anyway, I'm talking to my friend and her brother, and we're basically talking about Josh. We're like, Josh is just like the nicest guy. We're like, this is like so crazy. We're like, he's and
you missed the part though. You missed the part. So we had just introduced Katie for the first time to my little brother. My little brother Alex is there with all his friends. They go crazy every year. They have like 30 people at their campsite.
I met him at Faster Horses, and I was like, oh, cool, I just met your brother. So I'm like near your brother's campsite.
Right.
And I'm talking to my friend and her brother, and the little brother's like, it's so cool. Like, Josh just loves you so much. Like, and then he points, he's like, look, there he is now coming to see you. And then Josh comes over, and he starts yelling at me. And he was saying some things he might not have should have said.
We're not going to say the words I was saying, but basically I told her, I was like, all girls are the same. Like, I knew it was too good to be true. Like, you're screw you. Like, don't ever talk to me again. And continued to walk away. But let me tell my side. So while she's having that little conversation with her friends about how perfect I was, which I'm far from perfect.
It felt like a movie scene though, because we were literally being like, Josh, you'd be so sweet, and like he's just so in love with you. And
the way you
walk in.
Describe it, I wish we had it on video.
No, literally, because they were like, look, and I swear he was like, look, here he comes now, coming to see you,
running after you. Yeah. Okay, but while she's having that conversation, I'm with her best friend at the time and my little brother, and we're like chirping back and forth.
I didn't know you were with Alex.
Yeah, we're drinking and drinking more drinks, which we shouldn't have been doing because we already trashed.
Yeah.
And he goes, like, after I chirped him again, like he goes, well, that guy you just shook hands with that Katie introduced you to, she made out with him on your guys' first date. And if you guys don't know, we went to a concert on our first date, and like we did see a lot of people from her high school there.
He was there.
And he was there.
So that's not like wrong.
It wasn't like too like far out from what could have been the truth. And instantly though, and this is where the alcohol comes in, and I'm not blaming the alcohol because I'm sure I would have been really mad, but I probably would have questioned
But you also didn't know me that well. True. Like you didn't know if like you kept thinking it was too good to be true.
I just remember my little brother's face like, oh shit. And I didn't even ask one question. If I was sober, I would have been like, oh, she didn't do that. Like I knew you well enough to be like,
that's the thing. I was like, dude, I was there with you. I was literally
with me the whole time.
Like and that's why I was so confused. So anyway.
But anyways, no.
Josh is drinking, sees red, and that's all that's like in his head.
There was no question in my head after that. There was no nothing. I was like, I'm gonna go let her know what's good.
That is done.
So I hollered at her. I let her know it was
Broke up with me on spot.
Broke up with her on spot.
Mind you, I don't even know what's going on. I'm like,
she is hella confused.
I'm like, I'm like, wait,
like, stop. Where's the camera?
So Joshy B's running back to his campsite. I'm like chasing after. I'm like, wait, stop. I'm like, please stop.
I wasn't running at first. It was just, I was speed walking, pissed, and she kept like coming up to me, like trying to grab my arm,
and then he was like, "Don't touch me.
We're not doing this right now. Don't touch me."
And I was like, "Wait, stop!"
And then she kept doing it. I was like, "Just leave me alone." And like in her defense, like you should have been like.
What?
Like, what the hell is going on? You should have been
no, because that's what I was. I wasn't like grabbing you like, don't leave. I was like, wait, stop. Like I was grabbing you. And you were like just trying to get away from me. And I understand like you're mad. You like don't want me to touch you. Like you couldn't. But the thing is I think this is where alcohol kind of played a little bit into it. And it's not good to blame alcohol, but I know that alcohol can definitely like, you weren't rationalizing with anything.
No, like it's like I mean, it's a fact that
if you were sober, you would have like at least talked and then not like just saw red and like kept going.
No, that's that was my biggest problem. Like the next day, I was like, I wish I was just like would have sat there and like been like, yo, like I would have rather questioned you and like put you on the spot, be like, yeah, he just said you made out with that
just
guy.
Just be like, explain yourself.
I would have grabbed you and been like, let's go talk to him. He was like, 50 yards away, probably.
And I'm pretty sure, didn't you guys talk after? And he's like, dude, I didn't. Like, I don't even know. And like, I think he also was like scared of you.
No, he came up to me like, bro, like, I just want to let you know, like, that didn't happen.
How
like,
did, that's so interesting because I'm like, how did he know that whole thing went down? Maybe my friend.
Yeah, probably whoever you're talking to.
So anyway, we're running back to the campsite. Josh tells like a security guard, he's like, get me away from her. And I'm like, what? I was like, what?
Yeah, there's security everywhere on this event.
He really just wanted
one, and I was like, you get me away from her. And he's like, okay. He's like, get in my truck, and I got.
You just wanted a ride to the. It was a long walk, by the way.
It was like a mile walk. I got a ride to the campsite.
He's like packing his stuff up. I'm pretty sure you were out before the time I even get back, weren't you?
That's what's so embarrassing. Like, you want to know what's funny too? I kind of manifested this. Do you remember? I kept saying, I was like, oh babe, don't worry, like. Tony has a campsite too. That way, like if we get too crazy, like and like we get in a fight, like I'll just pack my bags and go stay with him. Yeah. I literally manifested that. I kept saying that as a joke leading up to Faster Horses. I don't even know why. And then it dead ass happened.
Because a lot of fights do happen there. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but it's like a lot of drinking mixed with like tired, no sleeping, bad living situations, like.
Oh, here's the fight I got in like before I knew you at Faster Horses with my ex-girlfriend. I had her on my shoulders and some guy smacked her butt at the concert behind us. And she goes, someone just smacked my butt. And I literally like throw her off my shoulders and all my buddies are there. And like I turn around and I just try to fight everybody.
See that? When you told me that story, I was like, are you crazy?
Yeah, but I was also like.
No, you were young and like, but that's like definitely like, so to me, that's so stupid because it's like, who are you gonna fight, a random person?
Dumb. It was so dumb, and
But like even stupid. You know that, but I understand. I feel like a lot of guys go through that. But I feel like at that point when we were dating, like you weren't like that at all.
No, not at all. But so that's why I think I was joking about like we're gonna get in a fight, and then I'm gonna go stay at a different campsite, and then it actually happened. So I packed my bags and wheeled them a mile to my brother's campsite.
So I go back to my my what's it called, like the camp, or we're staying in a pop-up. I go back, and then my friend that just said that to you comes back. He's crying. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't even know why I said that, like I don't know. And I was like, well, I was like, why would you say that? I was like, why would you lie? And then he was like, I don't know, like I guess I was like jealous of like, and like in his defense too, like me and him hung out all the time, and then another person comes into the picture. So like I'm not saying that's right that he did that, but like I also understand like his feelings were also very hurt by like a new, I don't know. Yeah. Everyone knows this is when you have a friend and then you start dating someone, like the dynamic changes, and that's always a very hard adjustment. And especially like me and this friend hung out all day long, so like like it was a big change.
No, it doesn't make, I mean,
it doesn't make it right, but it also like,
but like I understand like
in the situation.
Yeah.
And so anyway, he like apologizes. I'm so mad at him. I'm like, well, my best friend just kind of like threw like totally betrayed me, threw me under the bus. And I was like, but I was like, at least if you're gonna throw me under the bus, throw me under the bus for something that's true. And then also like I was just like, so now I don't have a boyfriend and I don't have a friend. And then I was like, and mind you,
we were the three that were staying together.
And I got everyone like free tickets for this event. Like I was like, I brought everyone here. I was like, I did all this extra work for YouTube to like make sure that I could like get everyone to come, like all my people, and all my people have turned on me.
All my people have left me.
All my people left me. And so I was in the camper just like crying. And then like I don't even know what I
was
at
my brother's campsite. I brought all my bags there, and then like I mean, basically the rest of the day went on. This probably happened at like 3 p.m. I want to say like 9, 10 p.m. rolls around, and I'm at my brother's campsite, and I just want to go to bed. But like him and his friends, they go hard. Like they're definitely staying up till like 4 in the morning.
I forgot like the craziest part though, and this was like so bad because so I like because it was like over a day until I got to see you. I think right?
No. I came back that night.
Okay. So that day, I was like sitting there crying. Then my friend from like, I haven't seen this friend in so long. My friend Brendan, he was like, came and like checked on me. And then he was like, oh, well, like you got to get out. Like, let's do something. I was like, okay, like, let's go. I'm like so sad. But like, I go with him. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to sit in the camper all day. And I go with him. I don't even know where we went. Oh, he had to go back to his campsite. So it's me and him and was it just me and him? I think it was me and him and maybe one other person, but I can't remember who was there. I don't know if my friend came and like we made up or
I don't remember.
I don't remember. But anyway, so we're going. I go to his campsite and then he's like, there's someone in his camper, and we hear someone in his camper, like 2 people in the camper. My ex-boyfriend pops out with another girl.
Yikes.
And I'm like, what the heck? And then I'm like, oh my God, this is not good.
That's not a good look.
I was like, this is not good.
That's not a good look.
I was like, I'm trying to get back with Josh. Yikes. And also I don't want him to know that I was fighting with Josh. So at this point, you finally like called me back because I was calling you and you weren't answering. So you called me back and I'm on the phone. And I'm like playing it up. Like, I'm like, oh, hey, babe, like, what's up? And then like, I'm like, trying to make it look like, oh, like life's so good, like over here. And then I walk away. I'm like, well, no, come back. And then I start fighting with you because he was like next to me. So I answer the phone. I'm like, oh, hey, babe, like, what's up? Like, blah, blah, blah. And then I walk away and I'm like, well, please call me back. Like like I wanted him to know that shit was good. And then we didn't really like talk much or like catch up much because it was just awkward. I was like, okay, this is the first time I've seen this kid in like 3-4 years. And then I was just like, oh yeah, like I was like, I just gotta go meet up with my boyfriend. Like he's a professional MMA. I don't know what I said. I was like, he's a professional MMA fighter, like blah blah blah. Just flexing on the ex-boyfriend, just had to let him know. And then anyway, we leave and I was like, this is so awkward. And then I was like, well, now this looks bad too. And now I was like with my ex-boyfriend, which I wasn't even planning on. And then I was like, this just got so bad. I was like, how is Josh ever gonna like go back?
Sus.
I was like, things are not going my way. But anyway, you did have a friend that convinced you to like talk to me, and then we ended up like.
Well, I came back to the campsite that night and I brought my stuff back because the only reason I came back is because I wanted to go to sleep and I didn't want to hang out with my brother and all his friends because like they were all having a good time and I was mad. Mm-hmm. So I walked my stuff all the way back and then I put my stuff in the camper and then I fell asleep on the floor outside. Do you remember that?
Yeah, so we had like a little turf thing that we laid out outside of the pop-up. And I come back and I'm like, will you please come to bed? And Josh was like, no, I'm not coming to bed because you were like being stubborn and you were like laying on the floor. And I kept begging you and then you just wouldn't come in.
This doesn't even sound like it could be real. Like I can't even imagine this happening now. I'm like, that sounds so stupid. Like I literally slept on the floor.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like the floor. Like it wasn't that gross. It was just like, I don't know.
Okay, I've slept outside on the floor. Like that was my game plan. That's how stupid I was.
Yeah, but then anyway, I think you knew you were going to come into the bed eventually. So you ended up
but I actually fell asleep. And then
he fell asleep and I woke up and I was like, just come on. And then I was like, I literally told you, I was like, I won't cuddle you.
I've never slept on the couch, but I have slept on the floor.
I was so sad because I wanted to cuddle Josh all night. And I was like, I'm so in love with this guy, but he hates me right now for no reason.
True.
And like, I was like, how do I make this seem like I was like, how is he going to believe me? I was like, it was my best friend who said that. So like, what reason would my friend have, to do that? I was like, this doesn't look good. And so anyway, once like the next morning and we talked about it, it was so much more of a rational conversation. And I was like, I swear that's not me. And I would never do that to you. And like, he understood that. And then we just kind of like, I don't know, we just kind of went on.
It was just better.
It was more like rational thinking and talking. Yeah, and like I was like, look, I didn't do that, and I explained why. And then you were like, okay, like I understand, like that was irrational, and then we just moved on from there. And we still had a great time. It was just like a one-day thing that went down.
I still look at that trip like it was fun. I don't know how I could even think of that. It's memories. I don't know.
I don't know. It's like sometimes the stories are funny.
Yeah, so many times.
Like
it's funny now.
Obviously in the moment, but then like after we realized we were like, okay, we really like each other after that too. Yeah. Like once we were like, when I knew like how sad I was when all that was going down, I was like, dang, I'm like falling in love with this guy. I was like, that was crazy. But yeah, that was our like.
It takes a stupid little fight to know she's the one.
Yeah, exactly. Is that when you knew? You're like, dang, I'm gonna propose.
Hell no.
No, but honestly, like there's really,
I don't even know.
There's really nothing embarrassing about that fight other than the fact, like, obviously fights are embarrassing. Like there's a lot of people who have like crazy fights and
it's
they would never even
embarrassing.
admit.
Like that's like it was. I feel like so childish. Like
yeah, but
like when you say that, like oh, like I was like on the floor and you like come to bed. I'm like no, like it sounds like a little toddler.
It's not like you're the only one that was probably being childish. Like I was probably being irrational because I was so upset too.
No, people do that all the time. Like husbands sleep on the couch. Like I mean, that's
people say
like, mean
that
things. Happens, obviously.
The thing is like no one really wants to talk about an irrational fight, but those are the big fights, and couples get into like irrational fights.
People fight about the dumbest stuff,
but I will say it scared me though because, and I'm pretty sure it probably scared you too because we were like, we just had an irrational fight month one.
Yeah, my dumbass just manifested that. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, you did.
I literally manifested. Like after it happened, I was like, I talked about this happening for so long. Like, of course it happened.
Yeah, but I mean, you live and you learn. If you were to go back, I think what would you do differently? Just like sit and like talk about it before you like got all mad.
Yeah. I not drink as much alcohol.
Same for me. A little less
lot of
alcohol.
Things that could have been done differently.
Yeah.
Literally questioned the guy that told me that happened and been like, because he wasn't there, and I would have been like, I was there. Like, okay, she was with me the whole time. So like, when did that happen? You could have just
asked, and then also like, yeah, I think just going back, but I mean, it wasn't. I don't feel like it was all your fault.
No regrets.
Huh?
I said no regrets.
No,
just kidding.
Not even one letter.
A lot of letters.
Okay, so anyway, that was our first ever fight, and obviously, like
speaking about manifesting,
what?
Let's go into our second biggest fight ever.
I can't remember.
Babe, don't get hurt before the wedding.
Okay,
don't crash your dirt bike before the wedding and get hurt, and then you can't walk down the aisle. What exactly happened?
No.
What exactly happened?
Okay, listen. So that was our biggest fight. Then our second biggest fight was all the way until right before the wedding. You realize that was like 3 years later, so that's pretty good.
Oh, see, and I think we're going in order from like least big to biggest.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Okay, so the next fight that we had.
more on the line.
We actually had two fights, but I'm just going to kind of combine them as one because they're pretty much the same fight.
Which one are you talking about?
Before the wedding. We had two fights before the wedding.
Yeah, but the one I'm doing like accident and then bachelor party. Those are two separate.
Oh, no. Those are separate. But we did have two fights over the whole dirt biking and wedding thing.
We fought multiple times about that. But I'm combining it into one like scenario.
Okay, so let's break it down to our next fight. So 3 years goes by. We really don't have a big fight. And Josh is... we might fight on this podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
I became a shredder because that's what I do. I seek thrill, adrenaline. Yes. I'm a junkie. That's what I live for. I love it. I don't know why. You started dating a professional fighter, and this is actually how our arguments went. You started dating a professional fighter, enjoys getting punched in the face for fun, and then he got into dirt biking.
Okay, so what does that have to do with the first one?
But you should have just been ready for so savageness.
Let's explain it. Joshy B has been dirt biking. He just started like maybe less than a year ago. 3 months into his little dirt biking career, if you must. I'm gonna say a little career because you went full blown. You got 2 new bikes in this time. You got your whole get up. You got everything. I got a bike.
I watch videos every day on how to get better.
Miss dirt biking.
I was all in.
I thought dirt biking was so fun.
I loved dirt biking, and I always knew I wanted a dirt bike when I was a little kid. Like I always wanted a dirt bike. I always thought my cousin's dirt bikes were so cool, and when we could finally afford one, I was like. And I had a friend that dirt biked. It just like so happened to work.
Well, yeah, because your friend Kelvin invited you out and you went dirt biking for the first time.
And I was like, I'm buying a dirt bike.
And so anyway, he's dirt biking and he gets hurt. You got hurt in July, which is like the best month in Michigan. It's like the best time ever.
This is wait all year. This is not what the big fight.
This is first injury. He broke his collarbone. He broke it pretty bad though. Yeah, in 3 different spots. Had to get surgery. And like I know this might sound selfish and maybe it is, but like I wasn't making you feel bad for this injury at all, but like it totally sucked for me too. It's like I wanted him to be careful, one, because I don't want to see him upset and not do things that he doesn't love, like working out and being active. And then And then 2, it sucks for me because I had to go to surgery, go to a ton of more doctor's appointments with you. And then it's like, we couldn't really work out together anymore. We couldn't do anything active or fun anymore because you were injured. And so like that puts us back for like 2 months. And that was like kind of ruined summer. But then we ended up moving to Arizona. And I wasn't mad at you for that at the time. I was like, dang, this just really sucks. But I feel really bad. Like I just really felt bad for you. True. And it sucked. But then
we made the most of it.
But then we were dirt biking. Yeah. We moved to Arizona and we're like, oh, okay, like we'll have so much summer, like it doesn't matter. And so it's getting near the wedding time though. And Josh would be like, every time he's like, I almost died. He like literally comes back and goes, I almost crashed. Like that was crazy. And I see when you go to a dirt biking track,
you're not going fast enough, babe. That's the rule.
When you go to a dirt biking track, you see people go down left and right, breaking their knees.
Crash all the time.
And not like literally breaking their legs, arms, like crazy accidents, like face all effed up. Like it's pretty bad. And so every time I go, I'm like, okay, whew, we made it back without anyone getting injured. Like I didn't say that, but in my head, I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, you know, and so to Josh, like he already got injured and I was just nervous that he was going to get injured for the wedding.
Basically, I had started dirt biking like 3 times a week instead of like just once a month like I was before because I got really into it. And here in Arizona, you can ride all year long.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was coming down to a time where I wanted to start racing. I was going to sign up for a race and it was going to be the last time I rode a dirt bike before our wedding. It was like January 10th was the race.
Yeah.
So I was training.
Yeah, I was
training it up. And we just got back from Christmas. You know, the vibes were high.
But I wasn't against you dirt biking. I just like, I feel like the thing is he was good at dirt biking, but he was jumping so high and like he hasn't had like experience. Like, he didn't grow up dirt biking. He didn't grow up like, you didn't really have much knowledge or like experience falling on how to fall or like different things. I feel like when you've done something for so long, you're a little less prone to get hurt, but like you are new to it and like with no fear. So
and let me throw this out there. Like, what she was saying like wasn't really like bad. Like I think any wife or girlfriend or anybody would say that. Like it's kind of like a be careful, but it's like, you know, like at the same time it's like don't get broken and not be able to walk down the aisle for the wedding. And it's like, okay,
I don't know if I said like
that's very specific.
I didn't say that.
That's very specific.
I don't think I said that. I said I don't want you to get hurt for the wedding.
Well, yeah, that came out.
I think that's all I said. I was well, not a lot. It was just towards the end. I was like, just be careful. And then the last time I was like, maybe we should like stop dirt biking for a little bit.
I'm not even saying you're in the wrong for saying that. I think every fiance would say the same thing.
I mean, all I was being, you might say it is it was manifesting. To me though,
I don't actually think it's manifesting.
No, but to me, I more so was like, this is just realistic. Like you get hurt dirt biking. Like every dirt biker gets hurt, even the professionals. Facts. So it's like, this is a reality and we have our wedding coming up. And I'm like, it's very important that like, we're okay for our wedding. And so to me, I was just like, hey, like, let's chill out a little bit. And you kind of agreed with that. You're like, yeah, like I agree. And then we went dirt biking and your accident happened. And at first I honestly didn't think it was as bad as it was.
Well, we rode on a different track that we had never rode on before. It was like kind of brand new. Like, yeah, it was kind of random. And I hit a jump. Just like it was a practice lap, a warm-up lap. I was going so slow, just putzing around trying to get the feel of the track. And like I hit this jump and like launched into the air over the landing area to the flat of the ground. If you know how a dirt bike works, suspension bottomed out. Both my ankles went cracked.
But it wasn't, to be fair, it wasn't really your fault because the way the jumps were really angled up. So like even I was going on some jumps and it was like launching me up. And I normally don't like to jump high. It was a brand new track.
So yeah, the jumps like booted you up. And like I said, the thing we would argue most about was I wasn't trying to get hurt. I wasn't even trying to go fast. Like obviously I don't want to be hurt, you know?
No, obviously, and I know that. But the thing is like for me, I went on the track and I'm like, I always go slow. And it's just, I guess it's more so like a girl mindset of like the whole time I'm like, I don't want to go too high. One, because I have a little bit of fear in me, which I think a little bit of healthy fear is good. Because I think sometimes guys, and especially like you don't have that like little like, oh shit, if I do this, that this could happen. And I know you think that's
I think of that all the time. That's why I love what I do, because on the other side of fear is that thrill, babe.
Okay, but like for me in dirt biking, I'm like, I don't want to get hurt dirt biking because then I can't work out or I can't do other things I love. And so like to me, it was really, we would fight over his accident, and it wasn't like, oh, screw you, you got injured. Like that makes me sound so mean. It was because Josh was laying in bed, sad, depressed. you're like eating a ton of food. You definitely were like going through depression for the first time ever.
I
like
cried myself to sleep like every night. I was hella depressed. I couldn't even move.
And I was like doing my best like to try and like help you and like do everything. And like for me, it also sucked. It's like, okay, I get you love dirt biking, but like as being someone who's like basically about to be your wife and lives together, I was like, I'm taking care of you now, like full blown. And like I feel bad if I go do anything. Like it's like I felt like I was like had to be there 24/7. It's a lot on me too.
Yeah, so basically what happened is I broke both my ankles and obviously had to have surgery, and then they basically told me there's no chance I was going to walk for the wedding.
And this is
or be able to walk at the wedding, which so like literally like what we were discussing happens, and
so like I feel like I was a little not in the I was a little in the wrong, but also like I understand why I felt this way. I was very frustrated, and I wasn't really frustrated.
There's no right or wrong here, because I feel like from my point of view, someone could understand like why I was upset, and then like from your point of view, like anyone could understand why you were upset too. Like I was upset because like let me explain.
Okay, that's fine.
For me, it was like I'm about to marry this girl, and like she's so mad at me because I got hurt, and like you took care of me, but it was like you didn't. Like you wanted to, but it was like you were mad about it because you resented me because I hurt myself before the wedding.
I resented
literally what you said not to do.
I started resenting,
rightfully so.
I started not like totally resenting you because it wasn't like this all the time, but it was sometimes I would get very frustrated. And the reason I started resenting you was because I felt like so disrespected, because he would be like, you would literally be like, oh, I can't wait to dirt bike again. And I'd be like, how the can you talk about dirt biking when now you can't even walk at our wedding? Our wedding, we almost had to cancel our wedding. And so for any girl who's listening would understand that aspect of like canceling the wedding.
Anyone would understand it. It makes sense.
And I understand it from your point of view, because it's not like, and I wasn't trying to be mean to you, but like maybe I projected my resentment on you because, and like that's no fun position for you to be in, because like I was angry with you because you were kind of talking about dirt biking.
My argument was like, okay, like, how do you think I feel? Like, I can't walk at the wedding. I'm broken. I'm depressed. And I know my wife hates me right now. No, like, there was no like happy medium. Like, no, you were fine about helping me and everything. Like, I'm not even saying you said like, oh, I hate you, but like, like the argument, you'd be like, oh, well, now you can't walk at the wedding. I'm like, I know. I'm just as upset as you are. Like, that was for me. It was almost like.
Well, also I felt like
you don't understand. I'm more upset than you are.
I understood that, but I also feel like I didn't know who to talk to.
Couples therapy going down.
No, I know. I also felt like I didn't know who to talk to though, because I was so upset. And it was just kind of saying, I felt like, okay, like I just have to deal with it. Like I can't talk to you, because if I'd be like, I'm so upset that you can't walk, and you'd be like, well, thanks for making me feel bad. Like it kind of like was like, I couldn't talk to you about it, but you're always the person I go to and talk to.
Let me tell you, your boy did everything possible to be able to freaking walk at that wedding.
Well, you didn't walk. You could stand.
No, I couldn't. I started doing what I can't remember what it's called. No, like hyperbaric chambers. Like that shit's horrible.
So
started doing that for hours a week. Like I was doing the most random shit to be able to walk, like anything I could figure out.
But I definitely think your accident was a really good like challenge for us before the wedding too, because like even though it did bring fights, it did bring a lot of like, we worked through a lot of fights. But the thing is with the fighting in the wedding is it was such a big accident. I don't think people realize like when you can't walk, like for a wife or someone to do is like, you do have to take care of them a lot. And like, there was a lot of things that I also now got to miss out on. I couldn't do. And I was okay with that. But to me, it was like, but it didn't feel as much of an accident, because I was like, you're the one who's trying to go jump higher. And I was like, I know you didn't.
That's the other thing we fought of too. It's like, you were trying to send it. I was like, I really wasn't. Like it was, our arguments were so stupid.
They were, but like also like, for me, I was like, it's so frustrating, because I was like, I knew.
No, you always have to be the best. You always have to push yourself harder. I was like,
no,
that's who you marry. But that's who you're about to marry. I love that.
I love that about you, but I also was so frustrated because I was like, you just got injured dirt biking. Did you not learn anything? Did you not dial it back? And I kind of was like, what's lacking in your brain that thinks like, hey, if I jump like 60 feet in the air, it's going to fucking hurt if I fall. And so to me, like it makes sense from both sides. Like I see your side, because you weren't asking to get hurt. You were just doing what you loved, you know? And to me, it was like, I was like frustrated that we were in this situation, and I didn't know who, like, I guess our communication could have been better.
Yeah.
But also like, it's understandable. I mean, anyone who's ever gone through like a pretty big accident, like I feel like that's pretty normal.
It's crazy talking about that and like all that build up, and it was all like right before the wedding, like how amazing like our wedding was.
Oh yeah, because
like that literally had basically zero effect. Like on it affected me a little bit because like I was not as mobile.
Yeah, like.
But like I mean I could get around, but.
Yeah, and that's why I
danced my ass off for having a broken ankle. I can't even picture how I even did that. I don't know how I did that.
You were on one foot, like jumping around on the cane.
My leg hurt so bad the next day. My other leg, like I was bouncing on one leg all night.
It wasn't even healed yet. But what's crazy?
That one wasn't even healed.
I do want to say during that time, it's not like we were fighting for months and months.
No,
they
were just like little,
and like there was lots of like happy times there. Like everything you guys saw on like YouTube was very, very real. Like anytime
there's videos of me crying.
Like when we were crying, like we were crying. But then like there was many days where we were still happy and doing like what we could. And also, mind you, like I don't know, it was like we moved to a state where we only knew like two people. State.
We don't know anybody.
Like, we can't go anywhere. We're kind of stuck at home now. And it was a very weird time.
That was a long injury.
That was like a year recovery.
It took me like 6 months to be able to walk, to even like put pressure on my ankle.
Yeah. Which is wild. That's a really long time.
It still, if you're wondering, it does still hurt to this day.
Yeah, that's the sucky part of it.
Because I've broken a lot of bones, and I've always been told like, oh, like it's gonna hurt you when you're older and stuff, and it's like, well, this one already hurts me. So
yeah.
But I guess there were tendons. There was a lot of shit in there broken.
And like you vanished. Like didn't you like disintegrate?
I vanished.
You disintegrated.
He used the term disintegrated the bone in my ankle.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy to think about. But with that being said, we are both healthy and blessed.
Yes.
So
I honestly too was just so grateful that you were like, it's not like an accident where you could never walk. And like to me it was just I know
could have been a lot worse.
How hard that accident was on us, and I'm like, look, like I wanted him to dial back on dirt biking, but I didn't tell you to sell. That was all.
She did not. I sold all my motorcycles. I was like, I'm done. I had 2 dirt bikes. Katie has a dirt bike, and then a motorcycle. I sold them all. But all in a wheelchair too. That was a funny story.
I think the thing is that you weren't going to sell them at first because it didn't seem as big of an accident. And then I think over time.
For me, in my mind, the doctor told me, it was like, oh, like it's going to be a couple months before you're even able to put pressure on it. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, every doctor says that. And then like they always tell me like in 4 or 6 weeks when I come back, they're like, oh my God, you have healing powers. Like your body healed so fast, blah, blah, blah. You're young, like you're athletic. Like I don't know how you healed so fast. That didn't go this time. Like, that's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, that's going to happen again. This isn't that bad of an injury. Lo and behold, it was. Like, the left ankle was just like I had thought. Like, in 4 weeks, like, I could almost put pressure on it. It wasn't even that bad. The right ankle was destroyed.
If only they both could have been
If they both were like the left ankle, I would have been fine. I was literally in a walking boot after like 2 weeks.
That was a very, very crazy injury. But yeah, I don't want, because I saw I've like seen some things where people have said, be like, oh, did Katie make you sell your stuff? I'm like, I never made them sell it. I love dirt biking. I still wanted a dirt bike.
I really like, I want to get another dirt bike so bad, but I just can't do it. I don't know what it is about me. Like, I just love like motorcycles. I've always had a weird like obsession for that. Like since I was a kid, I don't know why.
I mean, I'm not against it. I just like, to me, I'm like,
I like to do things like to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
Like, even when I go mountain biking, I get scared because I'm like, I don't want to get hurt doing this either.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't always want to think like the negative, but also like you have to think of what reality is too. It's like you can go a lot and not get hurt, but like also have to like dial it back a lot. But I do still have my dirt bike. Miss Keisha is still going strong. She does
still have her dirt bike. It hasn't been rode in like 2 years.
Because we can't get it started, and I want to use it so bad. I miss dirt biking, but also like, I don't know. We got too much going on for us to be like total dirt bikers. Like
total dirt bike.
But that was so fun. Like what a fun little like phase.
That's a good era. Like I'm not mad about it.
I mean, we could have skipped the accident part.
Could have skipped that, but I would have just kept dirt biking then. Anyways, moving on to our last and final banger of a fight.
Our last fight did have to do with your ankle and injury. Topic. So I'll be honest, the only time you ever kind of get a little mean or a little upset or irritated.
When I can't do the shit I love to do.
It's when you're hurt, when you're in pain. And you're not in pain often, but it has to be severe pain. Because I think the only ever times you've kind of been like a little like either like snap or like not really seem like yourself is only if you've been in like severe pain.
It's not the pain, I think, is where like the answer is. It's the like I can't be me. Like I can't do me.
Yeah.
Like
You can't.
I don't know. Like,
you can't be yourself.
I can be myself, but like I can't do me. Like the things I love to do, like consist of being active. Everything I love to do is something to do with activeness. Like
yeah.
And I can't do that when I'm broken.
No, that makes sense.
Like I still went to the gym every day. 3 days after I broke both my ankles,
crushed it. You were so good. We went to the gym
in a wheelchair. Like, and I'm not saying like, oh, like I'm obsessed with the gym. Like I just love to.
So you love to do
move and get better. Like I was wheeling my wheelchair around like our little pond out front, like and timing myself like dead ass to see how fast I could do it, like for like a cardio workout because I was going crazy just sitting around. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But anyways, yeah, this last one does have to do with the ankles and alcohol. The other one didn't have to do with alcohol. So we're 1 or 2 for 1 with alcohol.
Yeah. So this one was at the Bachelor and Bachelorette party we had. And I really don't think having combined parties was a big fail.
No. We didn't combine them. They were separated, but at the same time. And they just so happened to be in the same state. We weren't like combined.
No, but the only issue was I would say with that is like we had a couple in the group and they were kind of going through a breakup, so they were fighting, which caused like a little like back and forth between the groups, like texting and stuff, but other than that, like not too much.
No, the real issue honestly I'll just say it again with that is I had 2 broken ankles. I'm on my bachelor party with my boys and I was depressed. And when you're drinking, like depressed and in pain and on pain medicine, that's a very bad combination.
Yeah.
But no excuse though, because we were having a really good time and there was no issues.
Yeah.
But
look, the best, and like mind you, about this fight, once we're done with it, keep in mind we still had the best time ever. Like this was
facts, it was super fun.
This was such a fun trip. So anyway, the girls, and was this like towards the end of the trip? I think it was like the last day or something.
Yeah.
So we went and we like TP'd the boys' house because they were out and about.
Destroyed it. Not just TP'd it. It's on YouTube.
There's we like destroyed their
condoms everywhere.
But that wasn't really my idea. It was to destroy it. I never wanted to like destroy.
No, I think it was hilarious. Like they wrote like washable off paint like on all the mirrors. It was a fire prank.
We like sticker things. Prank. Like we did a lot.
We were so confused when we came back and just looked inside the house because it was like all glass and we're like, oh my gosh, we got wrecked.
It was so funny. So anyway, we did that. We come back. Josh calls me and he's like, oh my gosh, you guys suck.
I was so drunk, but like I was so happy. I was like, you killed it. Like, this is hilarious.
You're like, screw you guys.
Payback's coming.
He's like, you better watch your back. Like laughing or something. And then didn't they think like Alex like betrayed them too? Yeah,
that's like a whole nother story. But like this podcast is gonna get really long if we get into the entire thing.
Maybe we could do a whole Bachelor.
We'll do like a whole story on the Bachelor and Bachelorette stuff because it was pretty fun. And there's a lot of good times.
Oh yeah.
But basically, so they had done this, like we had just got back from the bar, like or club, like we had bottle service, like your boy was feeling it.
And
like,
the girls were having like a little like
chill night, right?
Yeah, we were just in our pajamas and playing like different like bridal party or not bridal, like bachelorette party games. Yeah. Like they give me underwear, I had to guess who bought it for them, things like that.
Yeah. So we went real hard. And come back to that, like call Katie, I'm super drunk, like laughing it off, think it's hilarious. And I'm on crutches at the time. Again, one ankle's in a boot, I'm allowed to walk on it, it's still broken. And the other one's severely broken. In my mind at this time, I'm going to be able to walk for the wedding. I just cannot ever put pressure on it. That's like, the doctor's like, that would be like your best bet to possibly walk at the wedding.
Don't put
pressure on it. It'll re-injure super easily. That's in my mind. So I'm crutching in the backyard and it's Florida. It's super humid and we have like a slippery tile. But I knew it was slippery, but I'm chilling. Crutching around and like we're laughing. We're about to go tell the story in this one room, like on camera. We had our filmer there. And as I'm crutching over there, my crutch slips out and I eat shit. Fall straight, all my body weight onto my bad ankle, hit my face on a corner of like bad on a corner. I wish this was on video.
Did you not like get cut though?
No. Bonked my face on the corner and then fell back. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? I think I cried. Like it was horrible. It was the worst pain ever.
Chris or someone come get you?
They helped me up. I get back on my crutches. Boom. Same thing happens right to my bad ankle. And let me tell you, like when this was the worst pain I've ever felt, hurt way worse than the injury. My ankle felt like it was gonna explode.
This explains like a lot more because you got up and fell again.
But
Yikes.
We did look. So we looked at my crutches the next day, but I'm just gonna say it now. And all the padding I had crutched around so much that weekend had completely worn off. It was to the metal, so that's why it was slipping. And it was also like a tile floor. But yeah, basically, in my head, I had thought that the girls thought it would be funny to like make the patio like slippery with like soap and shit. And I'm like, you seriously did that? Like, I just fell on my ankle. Now I'm for sure not walking at the wedding. Like, I went off on Katie. Like,
and then I was
she's like, what are you talking about? I didn't do that. I was like, don't lie. Like, I know you did that. And then yeah, I chose some not nice words to say to her. And she's like, if you say it again, like this is it, like blah blah blah, which was like so random to say because like we've never said that in our relationship ever.
Well, no, the reason I said that was because first of all, you came so out of line, like like not like yourself. Like I was like
not my product.
I was like, who is he right now? And like the way he was talking to me, I was like, because to be honest, like you never say anything like mean. Yeah. You never swear. You never like. You don't even raise your voice at me. Like, even when you're mad, you really don't. Like, you treat me so well. And this was just so not like you. So I was just, like, so, like, caught off guard. And
I basically said F you. And she's like, don't say that again. And I said F you. And then she's like, if you say that again,
you also said, over. Can I say, you also said.
I don't know. I said, don't say it. Oh, did I say I hate you?
Yeah, he's like, F you, I hate you.
Bad.
And I was like, because, like, I know how much, like, you would, like, and I was like, what the? I thought, like, at first, I thought it was, like, a joke. Like, I was, like, so confused.
She did.
And then I was like, don't say that again. Or we're not getting married. Obviously, I know we were getting married.
And my dumbass said it again, stubborn as hell. And then she hung up. And then I tried calling her, like, 20 times. And she wouldn't answer.
I didn't talk to him until we got back, I'm pretty sure.
Until we sat next to each other on the plane.
And even then, I was being so, I knew obviously, like, I knew that was just like not Josh and that was like a bad situation and like whatever. But like, I also knew that I wasn't going to accept that. And so I had to play, like, I love Josh. Like, when I saw him at the airport, I couldn't wait to like hug him and kiss him. But I was like, I have to act. And I was mad, but I was like, I have to act more mad than even I am because I have to set a tone that shit's not okay.
No, and everything I did was definitely not okay. Even with like the alcohol, the injury, like all of that stuff. Like, I'm not saying that for an excuse, but I'm just trying to like I don't even know why that's where my head was at. Like, that's what I was thinking, that you would try to like hurt me worse.
Yeah.
But like in my mind, I was like, you just ruined all my chances of walking at the wedding. And like, mind you, leading up to that, like, obviously I'm upset to have to be in this scenario at my bachelor party, but like, we're making the most of it. But
I think a lot of that had
leading up to it, like, we're having those arguments that we just talked about previously, like,
that's what I was gonna say.
You're not gonna walk at the wedding. I'm like, no, I'm gonna walk at the wedding. Like, I'll make it happen. Blah blah blah. I'm doing all this stuff to walk at the wedding, and then that happened. I think like, in my head it was like I just lost everything.
I think the previous fight played into that. It's like those emotions were still very much there before the wedding, and I think then obviously getting hurt twice. First of all, that's gotta suck, and that sounds so painful.
I wish it was on video. I literally got wrecked. I wish I could watch it back. Like, it was so bad. Like, it probably would look so stupid. Like, kid on crutches, literally 2 boots on his ankle. Well, 1 boot, like 1 cast on his ankle, just crutching around. Boom, eats shit. Like, falls into the wall, gets back up, eats shit again.
See, I do feel bad because I know, like, obviously you said some things that were like totally not like you, but like you definitely like made up for it. And I don't want you guys to take this and be like, oh, Josh, you piece of dick, or I can't believe I would never say that. Like, you still, I still would be like, you would never say that. Like, obviously you did, but I almost felt like that wasn't you. Like, and that's where I felt like that was like a moment of like severe pain, you going through the first time in your life, like a depression. True. So mixed with alcohol, like that's a pretty big situation. But like, obviously you apologize. We worked through it. And like, I know that Josh, I know he doesn't hate me. So like, I didn't take that like personal. I more so was just like, why? I've never seen this side. Like, you know, so that's the only thing that scared me, because I was like, I know he loves me and I know he never treats me bad, but I was like, that's not okay.
That was a wild one.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes you grow so much stronger through like your biggest fights.
I think I was just honestly mad and like besides taking it out on myself, who was I going to take it out on? Like, I feel like as sad as this is to say, like, when you're unhappy, you're mad, like, you take it out on, like, the people who love you the most and care about you the most. Like,
because they're still going to, like,
I was unhappy with myself. I was depressed with myself. I was mad at myself. And then, like, also in a lot of pain, I took it out on you.
Yeah.
Which I'm sorry for, and obviously, I squashed that like literally the next day.
I don't even need an apology. That was so long ago.
But like, it's embarrassing because like that's not who I am. But like at the same time, it happened.
It happened.
I'm not afraid to tell that story or talk about it because
that's the thing.
I think life is all about lessons and growing and learning, and like I learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
And I sold all my dirt bikes.
Yeah, you just had to get rid of all the dirt bikes.
Yeah.
I also feel like there was like people like feeding in and making that fight a little worse than it needed to be.
Yeah, it's all good though. That's all our fights.
That's pretty good though. You got to think about that.
I'm not mad about it. Like
we've been together for like 4.5, 5 years
5
almost.
Years.
In July will be 5, and
we worked it. We do everything.
We're together 24/7, and honestly, we don't even have we don't really have too many small fights either. Like we get along very, very well, and like I've seen. Like, obviously, my parents' relationship isn't perfect, but, like, I've seen fights growing up. I've seen other parents fight. I've seen some toxic fights from everyone. I've seen our friends get in toxic fights.
Every fight we're talking about, I've seen either, like, people we know or our friend, like, get in similar or same style fights. Like,
yeah.
Like, people that tell you they don't fight or have, like, these crazy, like, arguments ever in their life are either, like, lying to you or they're perfect. And if they're perfect, good for them.
But, like... I don't know. I feel like we really are a couple that doesn't fight. And I'd still say we don't fight. Like, we really don't fight that much. But, like, to say we've never fought, like, come on. That's not true.
Everybody fights. I don't care who you are. But I just so happen to be a professional at it. So
clearly he's the best. No, just kidding. But honestly, like, Joshy B is the best. Like, you are so good.
We can't end it with that, you know? Like,
no, want to know why? It's because you really are not an argumentative person at all. You always try and mend a fight. You always, like, I'll be, like, being sassy or, like, clearly in an irritated mood, and it has nothing to do with you, but you always know how to dissolve, like, a situation. Like, you'll literally come and hug me and just kiss me. Like, one time you did that to your mom. Like, your mom was going off on you for no reason. You hug and kiss her. You know how to, like, diffuse the situation with my mom. If my mom's about to go off on someone, you always, like, can crack a joke or do something certain.
No one
and you're very good at diffusing
fighting.
It. Yeah.
But who likes to fight?
But you are just, like, I feel like you are not stubborn. Like, I've just seen, like, other boyfriends and fiancés and, like, husbands treat their girl.
See, I am stubborn, but, like,
you are, but not
I've learned, you know, to not. I just feel like
it's not worth it.
All these life experiences that happen and stuff like that, like, you either learn from it or you keep repeating it. Like,
yeah,
you know, like, I used to be stubborn as hell. Like, ask any of my friends. Like, we were all stubborn. Like, any little teenage boy would be.
It's crazy because
like, I've learned from it. I was like, you really don't get anything from being stubborn. You're either upset,
you're just unhappy,
ruin and something,
you're being mean to other people too by being stubborn.
Yeah, or you just, like, let them have their opinion, you have yours, or, like, work it out. Like, being stubborn, it gets you nowhere.
And you're really not an argumentative person either.
No.
And you always, like, are thinking the best of people.
I'm very open-minded. Like, I mean, if someone has, like, a point to make, like, I'm not going to argue with them, but, like, I'll say my point, they say their point, like, whatever. Like, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Like, I don't care to change anybody's mind on something.
Yeah, that makes sense. You say you're stubborn, but I really don't see that.
No, I'm saying I used to be stubborn. Like,
I feel like you're like, I guess honestly, I feel like you used to be a little more stubborn than you are now. And not even with, like, fights or anything, but I really don't think you're that much of a stubborn person. Like, I feel like you are very go with the flow, like, let people have their opinion. You have yours. You're not trying to fight people, and you're very respectful with people, which I think is really cool. Like, I feel like sometimes I can be a little more stubborn than you. And honestly, being stubborn isn't a good thing.
It's just like, yeah, it's not fun for anybody.
But yeah.
Be better.
Be better.
Be better.
But anyway, guys, those are our biggest fights.
Learn from our mistakes.
Learn from our mistakes, and don't drink too much.
Yeah, true. I mean, that'll tell you right there where.
Not that it's all alcohol's fault, but sometimes if you are fighting with someone, you add alcohol to the mix, it just makes emotions crazier, so it's not always the best.
True.
But, like,
good vibes only when drinking. I mean, I don't want to say we don't drink a lot, but we over 5 years we have drinking a lot together.
Oh yes,
like, in comparison to these fights. Like, I don't want to say it's like, oh, it's because we drink. It's like,
yeah, no,
it wasn't that. It was
It was the mix.
It just happens.
It's the mix of emotions.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is live and learn.
Is. This is episode 15 of Your Couple Tea. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Peace.